So today is the Panihati festival, and we'll be telling the story through the Chaitanya Charitamrita of this wonderful festival and the deliverance of Raghunath Das Goswami from the clutches of material life. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari 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 Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Yasodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Ranjana Yasodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Pavrikacharya Satara Sadashi Shima's Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Anantakoti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prames go Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Dvaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinda Ki Jai Jai Radha Krishna Gopa Gopanashai Mukunda Radha Kunda Girigorani Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Mai Purnamdeep Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Srimati Tulsi Devi Ki Harinam Sankirtan Ki Brihat Madanga Ki Samaveda Bhaktivinda Ki Gaur Premanandi, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So today is a very important day. This is the Panihati festival, the Chittadahi festival, and it is recounted in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Anchalila, chapter number 6, and the title of the chapter is Raghunath Das Goswami meets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Lord Chaitanya delivers Raghunath Das Goswami from the clutches of material life. And it's like many chapters in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's quite long. It's over 300 verses, and it contains numerous stories within that. The first main story is the story of the Panihati festival, which we'll cover today. But first I'd like to read the invocation verse given by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And that verse it's number 1. Kripa Gunarya Kugrihanda Kupad Udritya Bhangya Raghunata Dasam Nyasya Swarupe Vidad Dain Tarangam Sri Krishna Chaitanyam Amum Prapadye. With the ropes of his causeless mercy, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu employed a trick to deliver Raghunath Das Goswami from the blind well of contemptible family life. He made Raghunath Das Goswami one of his personal associates, placing him under the charge of Swarup Damodar Goswami. I offer my obeisances unto him. So this chapter is about the Kripa Guna, by the ropes of causeless mercy. So it's Prabhupada's Kripa Guna, by his ropes of causeless mercy, that we're all here today. So let us begin with a bit of a summary of the very first part of the chapter before we go into the story itself. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went into transcendental fits of ecstatic love, Ramananda Roy and Swarup Damodar Goswami attended him and satisfied him as he desired. Raghunath Das Goswami had been attempting to come to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for a long time, and finally he left his home and met the Lord. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had gone to Shantipur on his way to Vrindavan, Raghunath Das Goswami had offered to dedicate his life to the Lord's lotus feet. However, there's something happening. In the meantime, however, a Muslim official became envious of Haranya Das, Raghunath Das Goswami's uncle, and induced some big official court minister to have him arrested. Thus, Haranya Das left home, but by the intelligence of Raghunath Das, the misunderstanding was mitigated. Well, the misunderstanding was about the amount of the cut of money that the tax collectors would take. It was apparently Haranya got a little greedy and took more than he was supposed to take. And when he was going to be arrested, he left. That only left Raghunath Das to be there, and he was arrested. And through trickery and flattery, etc., he managed to convince the Muslim jailkeeper to let him go. And then they arranged for everything to be settled. And so we'll pick up at that point after everything is been settled up, and Raghunath Das Goswami is going to, let's see, did I get here? And this will begin the story itself. Okay. I'm going to tell you, I have to get there. Let's see, here we are, got to go to index. Excuse me for the, and verse number 35. In this way, Raghunath Das passed 1 year exactly like a first-class business manager, but the next year he again decided to leave home. He got up alone one night and left, but his father caught him in a distant place and brought him back. This became almost a daily affair. Raghunath would run away from home, and his father would again bring him back. Then Raghunath Das's mother spoke to his father as follows. "Our son has become mad," she said. "Just keep him by binding him with ropes." His father, being very unhappy, replied to her as follows. "Raghunath Das, our son, has opulences like Indra, the heavenly king, and his wife is as beautiful as an angel. Yet all this could not tie down his mind. How then could we keep this boy home by binding him with ropes? It is not possible even for one's father to nullify the reactions of one's past activities. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has fully bestowed his mercy on him. Who can keep home such a madman of Chaitanya Chandra?" Then Raghunath Das considered something in his mind, and the next day he went to Nityananda Goswami. In the village of Panihati, Raghunath Das obtained an interview with Nityananda Prabhu, who was accompanied by many kirtan performers, servants, and others. Sitting on a rock under a tree on the bank of the Ganges, Lord Nityananda seemed as effulgent as hundreds of thousands of rising suns. Whoops, sorry about that. Go back. Many devotees sat on the ground surrounding him. Seeing the influence of Nityananda Prabhu, Raghunath Das was astonished. Raghunath Das offered his obeisances by falling prostrate at a distant place, and the servant of Nityananda Prabhu pointed out, "There is Raghunath Das offering you obeisances." Hearing this, Lord Nityananda Prabhu said, "You are a thief. Now you have come to see me. Come here today. I shall punish you." The Lord called him, but Raghunath Das did not go near the Lord. Then the Lord forcibly caught him and placed his lotus feet upon Raghunath Das's head. Lord Nityananda was by nature very merciful and funny. Being merciful, he spoke to Raghunath Das as follows. "You are just like a thief, for instead of coming near, you stay at a distant place. Now that I have captured you, I shall punish you. Make a festival and feed all my associates yogurt and chipped rice." Hearing this, Raghunath Das was greatly pleased. Raghunath Das immediately sent his own men to the village to purchase all kinds of eatables and bring them back. Raghunath Das brought chipped rice, yogurt, milk, sweetmeats, sugar, bananas, and other eatables, and placed them all around. And we'll see this tonight with all the pots placed all around the altar in our commemoration of this wonderful festival. As soon as they heard that a festival was going to be held, all kinds of brahmanas and other gentlemen began to arrive. Thus, there were innumerable people. Seeing the crowd increasing, Raghunath Das arranged to get more eatables from other villages. He also brought 200 to 400 large earthen pots. So you can just see the parking lot filling up today, and as everybody comes for the festival. He also obtained 5 or 7 especially large earthen pots, and in these pots a brahmana began soaking chipped rice for the satisfaction of Lord Nityananda. In one place, chipped rice was soaked in hot milk in each of the large pots. Then half the rice was mixed with yogurt, sugar, and bananas. The other half was mixed with condensed milk and a special type of banana known as champakala. Then sugar, clarified butter, and camphor were added. Don't eat too much of that. After Nityananda Prabhu had changed his cloth for a new one and sat on a raised platform, the Brahmana brought before him the 7 huge pots. On that platform, all the most important associates of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, as well as other important men, sat down in a circle around the Lord. Among them were Ram Das, Sundarananda, Gadadhar Das, Murari, Kamalakara, Sadashiva, and Purandara. Dhananjaya, Jagadish, Parameshvara Das, Mahesh, Gauri Das, and Hoda Krishna Das were also there. Similarly, Udarana Thakur and many other personal associates of the Lord sat on the raised platform with Nityananda Prabhu. No one could count all of them. Hearing about the festival, all kinds of learned scholars, brahmanas, and priests went there. Lord Nityananda Prabhu honored them and made them sit on the raised platform with him. Everyone was offered 2 earthen pots. In one was put chipped rice with condensed milk, and in the other, chipped rice with yogurt. All the other people sat in groups around the platform. No one could count how many people were there. Each and every one of them was supplied 2 earthen pots, one of chipped rice soaked in yogurt, and the other of chipped rice soaked in condensed milk. Some of the brahmanas, not having gotten a place on the platform, went to the bank of the Ganges with their 2 earthen pots and soaked their chipped rice there. Others who could not get a place even on the bank of the Ganges got down into the water and began eating their 2 kinds of chipped rice. Thus some sat on the platform, some at the base of the platform, and some on the bank of the Ganges. And they were all supplied 2 pots each by the 20 men who distributed the food. What big organization here. So these festivals that we celebrate, we try to follow in the footsteps of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates and have wonderful time distributing prasadam and associating with the devotees. And we can only imagine how ecstatic this festival was with Lord Nityananda there with all his associates. Every one of them is, everyone is an associate of Krishna and Balaram in Vrindavan in the original Leelas of the Lord. Thus, at that time, Raghava Pandit arrived there. Seeing the situation, he began to laugh in great surprise. He brought many kinds of food, cooked in ghee, and offered to the Lord. This prasadam he first placed before Lord Nityananda and then distributed it among the devotees. Raghava Pandit said to Lord Nityananda, "For you, sir, I have already offered food to the deity. But you are engaged in a festival here, and so the food is lying there untouched." Lord Nityananda replied, "Let me eat all this food here during the day, and I shall eat at your home at night. I belong to a community of cowherd boys, and I therefore generally have many cowherd associates with me. I am happy when we eat together in a picnic like this by the sandy bank of the river." Lord Nityananda made Raghava Pandit sit down and had 2 pots delivered to him also. There were 2 kinds of chipped rice soaked in them. When chipped rice had been served to everyone, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, in meditation, brought Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is a very amazing miracle that occurs that most people cannot really see. And I can only imagine what it was like when looking up at Lord Nityananda, he was seemingly feeding somebody who wasn't there. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived, Lord Nityananda stood up. Then they saw how the others were, they then saw how the others were enjoying the chipped rice with yogurt and condensed milk. From each and every pot, Lord Nityananda Prabhu took one morsel of chipped rice and pushed it into the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a joke. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, also smiling, took a morsel of food and pushed it into the mouth of Nityananda and laughed as he made Lord Nityananda eat it. In this way, Lord Nityananda was walking through all the groups of eaters, and all the Vaishnavas standing there were seeing the fun. No one could understand what Nityananda Prabhu was doing as he walked about. Some, however, who were very fortunate could see that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also present. Then Nityananda Prabhu smiled and sat down. On his right side, he kept 4 pots of chipped rice that had not been made from boiled paddy. Lord Nityananda offered Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu a place and had him sit down. Then together, the 2 brothers began eating chipped rice. Seeing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eating with him, Lord Nityananda Prabhu became very happy and exhibited varieties of ecstatic love. Lord Nityananda Prabhu ordered, "All of you eat," chanting the holy name of Hari. Immediately the holy names, Hari, Hari, resounded, filling the entire universe. When all the Vaishnavas were chanting the holy names, Hari, Hari, and eating, they remembered how Krishna and Balaram ate with their companions, the cowherd boys on the banks of the Yamuna. This is Krishna consciousness. This is the mood that we can enter into when we're in a festive time with other devotees and we're engaging in these wonderful pastimes. Prabhupada has allowed us to have extensions of these pastimes in his movement. How else would we know about these wonderful things? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu are extremely merciful and liberal. It was Raghunath Das's good fortune that they accepted all these things. Who can understand the influence and mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu? He is so powerful that he induced Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come eat chipped rice on the bank of the Ganges. All the confidential devotees who were cowherd boys, headed by Sri Ram Das, were absorbed in ecstatic love. They thought the bank of the Ganges to be the bank of the Yamuna. When the shopkeepers of many other villages heard about the festival, they arrived there to sell chipped rice, yogurt, sweetmeats, and bananas. This is India, after all. And if they know they've got a chance to make some money, they're coming. As they came, bringing all kinds of food, Raghunath Das purchased it all. He gave them the price for their goods and later fed them the very same food. Anyone who came to see how these funny things were going on was also fed chipped rice, yogurt, and bananas. After Lord Nityananda Prabhu finished eating, he washed his hands and mouth and gave Raghunath Das the food remaining in the 4 pots. There was food remaining in the 3 other big pots of Lord Nityananda, and a Brahmana distributed it to all the devotees, giving a morsel to each. Then a Brahmana brought a flower garland, placed the garland on Nityananda Prabhu's neck, and smeared sandalwood pulp all over his body. When a servant brought betel nuts and offered them to Lord Nityananda, the Lord smiled and chewed them. With his own hands, Lord Nityananda Prabhu distributed to all the devotees whatever flower garlands, sandalwood pulp, and betel nuts remained. After receiving the remnants of food left by Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Raghunath Das, who was greatly happy, ate some and distributed the rest among his own associates. Thus I have described the pastimes of Lord Nityananda Prabhu in relation to the celebrated festival of chipped rice and yogurt. But that's not the end of the story where Raghunath Das Goswami, he wants to give up his material life. So later on in the chapter, we learn about his subterfuge as he left home to surrender to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is verse 159, 160. Thus, Raghunath Das, he's back at home again, but now he's going to leave for good this time. Thus, Raghunath Das thought deeply about how to escape, and one night while he was sleeping on the Durga Mandapa, the priest Yadunandana Acharya entered the house when only 4 dandas remained until the end of night. When he went back home, he wouldn't even go into the center of the house. He would just stay on the outskirts of the house, like a renunciate. So Yadunandana Acharya is someone who's very dear to Lord Chaitanya. So this, even though it doesn't say it exactly, this was really planned out very nicely. Yadunandana Acharya was the priest and spiritual master of Raghunath Das. Although born in a Brahmana family, he had accepted the mercy of Vasudev Datta. Yadunandana Acharya had been officially initiated by Advaita Acharya, thus he considered Lord Chaitanya his life and soul. When Yadunandana Acharya entered the house of Raghunath Das and stood in the courtyard, Raghunath Das went there and fell down to offer his obeisances. One of Yadunandana Acharya's disciples had been worshipping the deity, but had left that service. Yadunandana Acharya wanted Raghunath Das to induce the disciple to take up that service again. Yadunandana Acharya requested Raghunath Das, please induce the Brahmana to resume the service, for there is no other Brahmana to do it. After saying this, Yadunandana Acharya took Raghunath Das with him and went out. By that time, all the watchmen were deeply asleep because it was the end of the night. Good thing the watchmen were not on top of it. East of the house of Raghunath Das was the house of Yadunandana Acharya. Yadunandana Acharya and Raghunath Das talked together as they went toward that house. Halfway along the path, Raghunath Das submitted at the lotus feet of his spiritual master. I shall go to the home of that Brahmana, induce him to return, and send him to your home. You may go home without anxiety. Following your order, I shall persuade that Brahmana. On this plea, after asking permission, Raghunath Das decided to go away. Raghunath Das thought, this is the greatest opportunity to go away because this time there are no servants or watchmen with me. Thinking in this way, he quickly proceeded toward the east. Sometimes he turned around and looked back, but no one was following him. Thinking of the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda, he left the general path and proceeded with great haste on the one not generally used. Giving up the general path from village to village, he passed through the jungles, thinking with heart and soul about the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He walked about 30 miles in one day. Try that sometime. And in the evening, he took rest in the cowshed of a milkman. When the milkman saw Raghunath Das was fasting, he gave him some milk. Raghunath Das drank the milk and lay down to rest for the night. At the house of Raghunath Das, the servant and watchman, not seeing him there, immediately went to inquire about him from his spiritual master, Yadananda Acharya. Yadananda Acharya said, "He has already asked my permission and returned home." Thus there arose a tumultuous sound as everyone cried, "Now Raghunath has gone away." Raghunath Das's father said, "Now all the devotees from Bengal have gone to Jagannath Puri to see Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jagannath Das has fled with them. 10 men should immediately go catch him and bring him back." Raghunath Das's father wrote a letter to Shivananda saying, asking with great humility, "Please return my son." In Jankara, the 10 men caught up with the group of Vaishnavas going to Nilachala. After delivering the letter, the men inquired from Shivananda saying about Raghunath Das, but Shivananda saying replied, "He did not come here." The 10 men returned home, and Raghunath Das's father and mother were filled with anxiety. He's joined the Hare Krishna movement. Raghunath Das, who had been resting at the milkman's house, got up early in the morning. Instead of going to the east, he turned his face south and proceeded. He crossed Chhatrabhoga, but instead of going on the general path, he proceeded on the path that went from village to village. Not caring about eating, he traveled all day. Hunger was not an impediment, for his mind was concentrated upon obtaining shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sometimes he chewed fried grain, sometimes he cooked, and sometimes he drank milk. In this way, he kept his life and soul together with whatever was available wherever he went. He reached Jagannath Puri in 12 days, but could eat only for 3 days on the way. When Raghunath Das met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord was sitting with his companions, headed by Sarup Damodar. Staying at a distant place in the courtyard, he fell down to offer obeisances. Then Mukundadatta said, "Here is Raghunath." As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard these words, he immediately welcomed Raghunath Das. "Come here," he said. Raghunath Das then clasped the lotus feet of the Lord, but the Lord stood up and embraced him out of his causeless mercy. Raghunath Das offered prayers at the lotus feet of all the devotees headed by Swarup Damodar Goswami. Seeing the special mercy Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had bestowed upon Raghunath Das, they embraced him also. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "The mercy of Lord Krishna is stronger than anything else. Therefore, the Lord has delivered you from the ditch of materialistic life, which is like a hole into which people pass stool." Yuck. Raghunath Das answered within his mind, "I do not know who Krishna is. I simply know that your mercy, O my Lord, has saved me from my family life." The Lord continued, "Your father and his elder brother are both related as brothers to my grandfather, Nilambara Chakravarti. Therefore, I consider them my grandfathers. Since your father and his elder brother are younger brothers of Nilambara Chakravarti, I may joke about them in this way. My dear Raghunath Das, your father and his elder brother are just like worms in the stool in the ditch of material enjoyment. For the great disease of the poison of material enjoyment is what they consider happiness. Although your father and uncle are charitable to Brahmanas and greatly helped them, they are nonetheless not pure Vaishnavas. However, they are almost like Vaishnavas. Vaishnava Praya is the word used. Those who are attached to materialistic life and are blind to spiritual life must act in such a way that they are bound to repeated birth and death by the actions and reactions of their activities. By his own free will, Lord Krishna has delivered you from such a condemned materialistic life. Therefore, the glories of Lord Krishna's causeless mercy cannot be expressed. How merciful Prabhupada has been to create a society which is actually facilitating what we're reading here in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Actually, the Chaitanya Charitamrita is like the model for Vaishnava culture. Seeing Raghunath Das skinny and dirty because of having traveled for 12 days and fasted, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his heart melting due to causeless mercy, spoke to Swarup Damodar. My dear Swarup, he said, I entrust this Raghunath Das to you. Please accept him as your son or servant. There are now 3 Raghunaths among my associates. From this day forward, this Raghunath should be known as the Raghu of Swarup Damodar. Saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu grasped the hand of Raghunath Das and entrusted him to the hands of Swarup Damodar Goswami. Swarup Damodar Goswami accepted Raghunath Das, saying, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whatever you order is accepted. He then embraced Raghunath Das again. I cannot properly express the affection of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for his devotees. Being merciful toward Raghunath Das, the Lord spoke as follows to Govinda. On the way, Raghunath Das has fasted and undergone hardships for many days. Therefore, take good care of him for some days, so that he may eat to his satisfaction. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Raghunath Das, go bathe in the sea, then see Lord Jagannath in the temple, and return here to take your meal. After saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got up and went to perform his midday duties, and Raghunath met all the devotees present. Having seen the causeless mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu upon Raghunath Das, all the devotees, struck with wonder, praised his good fortune. Raghunath Das took his bath in the sea and saw Lord Jagannath. Then he returned to Govinda, the personal servant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Govinda offered him a plate with the remnants of food left by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Raghunath Das accepted the prasadam with great happiness. Raghunath Das stayed under the care of Swarup Damodar Goswami, and Govinda supplied him remnants of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's food for 5 days. Beginning from the 6th day, Raghunath Das would stand at the gate known as Singadwara to beg alms after the Pushpanjali ceremony, in which flowers were offered to the Lord. And then it goes through a long description of how he becomes more and more and more austere. And finally the chapter ends with this verse, where Raghunath Das Goswami praises Lord Chaitanya. Although I am a fallen soul, the lowest of men, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has delivered me from the blazing fire of great material opulence by his mercy. He handed me over in great pleasure to Swarup Damodar, his personal associate. The Lord also gave me the garland of small conch shells that he wore on his chest, and a stone from Govardhan Hill, although they were very dear to him. That same Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu awakens within my heart and makes me mad after him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Raghunath Das Goswami ki jai.
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindanalaya Taksham Bharavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Agom Vikamaniya Nishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalem Priya Priti Manti Pasyanti Panti Kayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham
Namo Vishnu Pataya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Namaniti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Bhajar Neke Devasesha Shunya Devasya Desatarane Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaurata Prinda Nana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ramanityananda Dvaita Godana Sivasari Gaurata Vrenda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ramanityananda Dvaita Gadana Sivasadi Gaurata Vrinda Jairana Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare, Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare, Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare, Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare, Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Om Vishnupad.
Chaitodarpanam Arjanam Bhavamahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairavya Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipanam. It didn't disappoint. Beautiful. Yeah. Nam namakari bahuda nija sarva shaktis tatrapita niyamita smaranena kala etadrishita vakripa bhagavan mamapi durdaiva midrishami hajjani nanuraga trinadapi sunichena tarorapi suhishuna Amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari nadanam najanam nasundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani ishvare bhavatat bhaktir oitaki tvai ainanda tanuja kinkaram bhatitam mam vishame bhavam buddha Kripaya tavapada pankaja stita duli sadrishim vachintaya nayanam galadashu daraya vadanam gadgadurigaya. Pula nishitam vakada tava namagrahane bhavishyati yugayatam namishena chakshusha bhavashayatam shunayatam jagat sarvam govindam virahename ashlishava padamritam banastumam adarshanam marmahata karotuva yatatava vidadatulam bhato mat prananatastusa eva napara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Oh, my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh, my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate and I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw on the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Oh, my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more